What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Sunday, February 15th, 2026, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 19:06 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East and also from former President of the U.S., Barack Obama. So, former President Barack Obama said that aliens are real, but he has no idea where they are during a podcast appearance released on Saturday. He said, "They're real, but I haven't seen them," Obama told YouTuber Brian Tyler Cohen after he asked him about extraterrestrials. The former president did not offer any further details on what he meant by real, and no follow-up questions on the topic were asked, but he used the appearance to cast doubt on several long-time theories as to where they might be. This is not the first time Obama has commented on the existence of aliens and UFOs. He said, "When it comes to aliens, there are some things I just can't tell you on air," he teased to the Late Late Show host James Corden in a 2021 interview. So let me just play a clip here from this interview with Brian Tyler Cohen and Obama. Take a listen. This is crazy.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
So there you have it, guys. I'll play that again for you.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them. And
Are aliens real?
they're real, but I haven't seen them.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility.
So pretty interesting. He was just using a classic CIA technique for diffusing difficult questions. This is a technique that is taught to all CIA agents and analysts, and that is when you're being pressed for information, you're supposed to sort of diffuse and deflect. And in this situation, what he does is he immediately says that they're not being kept at Area 51. And it's funny because nobody asked him about Area 51, but he suddenly brought that up. So that's very suspicious. And the fact that he was sort of downplaying that they could be there is a classic CIA technique for diffusing and deflecting difficult questions. And I wanted to update you guys on the situation with Iran. Several NOTAMs, these are notice to airmen or warnings to pilots, have been issued for northwestern, eastern, and southeastern Iran. Apparently, Iran has been conducting missile tests, and they're planned in the eastern and southeastern part of Iran, although this has not been officially confirmed. So, Iran issuing pilot warnings for pretty much their whole country. And yesterday, for some reason, an ammunition depot caught fire in the capital of Tehran. Here's some footage of that. Check it out. So you can clearly see this massive fire there in Tehran. We don't know the cause of it, but an ammunition depot of some kind caught on fire. And then also we have footage here of people in downtown Tehran, the capital of Iran, chanting "Death to the dictator." Take a listen. So you can faintly hear people shouting, I'm assuming from the streets and from their windows, death to the dictator. So this is huge news. And the Israeli Prime Minister held a war cabinet meeting today to discuss Iran. And the New York Post is reporting that Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner told President Trump that a nuclear deal with Iran is difficult to impossible. So very interesting. And Axios is reporting that the proposal from Steve Witkoff to the Iranians included the removal of 450 kilograms of highly enriched uranium from Iran. And Axios reported that Witkoff's messages included a proposal that Iran halt enrichment for a period of 3 to 5 years with the possibility that it could then enrich at a very low level. So they want 450 kilograms removed and no enrichment for the next 3 to 5 years. And Axios also reported that a second U.S. official said he thinks there is zero chance that Iran agrees to anything the U.S. proposes or vice versa. Okay, so we have Witkoff, Kushner, senior officials all saying that the chances of a deal between the U.S. and Iran is very low or impossible. And imagery from Chinese satellite provider Mazar Vision indicates a sustained U.S. deployment at Diego Garcia, currently with 2 P-8 submarine hunters, 3 KC-135 aerial refuelers, and a C-17 cargo plane visible on Diego Garcia. And new satellite images indicate Patriot air defense systems have been installed at the Sheikh Issa Air Base in Bahrain, a facility hosting U.S. forces. And 11 refuelers were visible at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar on satellite images from Friday. The RC-135 rivet joint also is there and is said to be operating in the Persian Gulf recently with transponders turned off. So the buildup is almost complete, guys. They have the air defenses set up, and we're seeing a slowdown in the number of military cargo planes going from the U.S. to the Middle East. And so that means that the massive buildup is almost complete. Okay, the only thing we're waiting for is that second aircraft carrier strike group, the USS Gerald Ford, to move from the Caribbean to the Mediterranean. And Zelensky made some major comments at the Munich Security Conference. I thought that I would read them to you. So first he said, Putin does not live like ordinary people. He cannot imagine life without power or after power. Normal things do not interest him. Putin consults more with Tsar Peter and Empress Catherine about territorial gains than with any living person about real life. Can you imagine Putin without war? He also said the Ukrainian army is the strongest in Europe thanks to our heroes. Strong words there. He also said, we are grateful for all the supplies we have received, but you saw how long we had to push to be allowed to receive stronger and more advanced weapons. Months for HIMARS, months for tanks, years for aircraft. Everything took time. Not a single day, not a single opportunity to protect life can be wasted. He also said that there is not a single power plant left in Ukraine that has not been damaged by Russian attacks. Not one. Wow, so that is very serious. He also commented on Iran. He said when the Iranian regime first gave Russia Shahed drones, they were simple weapons and could be shot down easily. Now, however, they are different. They have jet engines. They can fly at different altitudes. They can be guided by an operator in real time and use Starlink to reach their targets. They can even carry and deploy other drones. So he's saying that the drones have gotten more advanced. He also said, we hope that Trump hears us. We hope Congress hears us. We hope the American people hear us, and we are grateful for all of the real help. And also at the Munich Security Conference, European countries stated that they had evidence that Russia killed opposition leader Navalny with a poison dart frog toxin, according to a multilateral investigation. So remember, he died in jail in Russia. Well, they say they used a poison dart frog toxin to kill him. And the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced that Britain will deploy its aircraft carrier to the North Atlantic and the Arctic this year. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer told the Munich Security Conference that Europe must stand on its own 2 feet. Wow. And the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said, "We need to stop Putin. We need to strengthen our deterrence capabilities, but let us do it in a coordinated and targeted way that we can control. Let's build a true European army, not in 10 years, but now. Spain will join with all the resources that are needed." So the Spanish Prime Minister is calling on the development of a European army. This is huge news, guys. Another step towards World War III. And Rubio also spoke at the Munich Security Conference. He said, "I am here today to make it clear that America is charting the path towards a new century of prosperity, and that once again we want to do it together with you, our cherished allies and our oldest friends." So Rubio going to Europe to offer some positive words to the Europeans. And fresh satellite imagery reveals China is rapidly expanding secretive nuclear warhead facilities deep in Sichuan's mountains. New bunkers, ramparts, and extensive piping for high explosive testing, critical for perfecting warhead implosion designs. Refurbished 360-foot ventilation stacks, new heat dispersers, and ongoing construction at a plutonium pit production site. And Xi Jinping made a statement saying, "Stay true to the founding course." And apparently over the entrance to this one of these facilities is that slogan, "Stay true to the founding course." So very concerning, and it's visible from space with satellites. So very, very concerning, guys. China is rapidly building up their nuclear arsenal, and we know that China did surpass 600 warheads in their arsenal by the end of 2024, adding 100 warheads in just 2024 alone, the fastest expansion of any nuclear power, on track for 1,000+ warheads deployed by 2030. Wow. And the Chinese foreign minister warned that the U.S.'s interference in Taiwan's affairs could lead to a conflict between China and the United States. And Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, had some strong words to say about MAGA. Let me play this for you.
Temporary. It's temporary. MAGA will not survive past Donald Trump. He's a cult of personality. I said invasive species. Some of you may not know what the hell I'm talking about. But he took over this Republican Party. You made the point. That old Republican Party, some of them are here. I mean, none of us recognize them. They don't recognize themselves.
Wow, so saying that MAGA will not survive after Trump. Take a listen again.
Temporary. It's temporary. MAGA will not survive past Donald Trump. He's a cult of personality. I said invasive species.
Okay, so very, very concerning, but that's the latest breaking news that I have. I might be back later on in a few hours with a live update. And until the next time, follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/NYPrepper for all of these updates without advertisements. Also follow me on Twitter and check out my 24/7 live stream. And guys, I want to just warn you that if YouTube doesn't stop shadow banning me, I'm going to have to start posting these updates to Patreon only, or most of the time to Patreon. And I will maybe just post a little bit to YouTube because it's not becoming worth my while to do these videos anymore. So please register for my Patreon, sign up, and this way if I do transition to mostly Patreon, you'll already be set up and you'll be able to stay up to date with all the latest breaking news. But until later on, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a $100 discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com. The link is in the description down below. The normal price for their 3-month kit is $800, and they're selling it for $700. That's $700 for 3 months of emergency food, up to 2,000 calories per day for 3 months, and it has a shelf life of 25 years, all packed within rugged, watertight buckets that don't take up a lot of space. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to monitor expiration dates. You don't need a massive place to keep all your food. You can fit all this food in a tiny closet in a studio apartment. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $100 off the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video.